There's one thing that we look specifically at here, which is basically the talk of the town at the moment with all of this, that it just so happens that a cancelled project for the Mau Summit Rironi road that is currently under construction in Kenya under a different partnership, a different project, was cancelled. And now 7 billion shillings is actually being paid to the French for the cancellation of the contract. That same project is now being spent on in Kenya at the moment. I am trying to link this to the economy. Oftentimes we say, well, the economy is growing and we see it growing at a macro level, and we say that inflation is down and that we've grown by, certain number of percentage points. Most of us don't even know what those things mean. At the end of the day, the economy is growing. If I have a shilling in my pocket and I've had a meal, that's when I know that the economy works, isn't it?
Or if I've saved some money, most important.
Right. How do you translate that which we see in these mega projects? This major highway is being built, for example, 7 billion shillings down the potty because, for whatever reason, somebody decided to cancel the contract. How do all of these things actually affect me? When we talk about that project, for example, as one of the ones that takes on this big chunk of change.
That's a very hard question, but let's start from the beginning. Paying somebody 7 billion for cancelling a project. I think I would like to become a contractor to be getting free money for doing nothing. Can you imagine being paid 7 billion for doing nothing? But that's the nature of contracts. That there is a lot of money tied in the contract itself. That if you do this is what will happen. So I think Kenya avoided being dragged into deeper legal issues by just paying that. But you can see the French are also recovering because they are bringing more money, 12.5 billion in making the commuter rail. What I suspect is that behind the scenes there was some negotiation that you cancelled this, but you can give us this. But I still don't understand why that project was cancelled. To me, that was quite surprising.
Yeah,
particularly knowing that it was, particularly if you consider the amount that was involved. If you consider the importance of that project. But one suspicion is that it is who signed it. It was a different president.
Yes.
A new president wanted to be associated with
legacy project.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the way to look at it. Now back to your hard question. I was actually looking for time to think
about
it. Because it's a question everybody has been asking me, including my relatives, my friends, that if the economy is growing, why am I not feeling it?
Yeah.
So there's a time I passed around Girugin. I was going to Naivasha, and I found some young girls and boys, young men and women selling yogurt on the side of the road. And they told me that there used to be more money during Kanu era than now. And that was surprising to me. So I asked them, what do you mean? They told me, around that time, there was always some money, people buying yogurt from us and so on. They told me now we don't have. In fact, they have been removed from that place. So when you have big projects, like SGR, highways, superhighways, and so on. The economic expectation is that when you build this road, there are two ways people invest. In the short run, you employ people. People who build the roads, people who supply those products, and so on. So the economy is stimulated by these big projects. That's what John Maynard Keynes talked about almost 100 years ago, the stimulation effect of the government expenditure. So when you have such projects, people benefit immediately. But we hope that in the long run, more people will benefit. Because if you're an investor, it becomes easier for you to transport your goods and services.
Yeah.
If you're a farmer, if you are not doing any business, it becomes easier. So the cost of transport goes down. And if the cost of transport goes down, you take less time to do what you are doing, then the economy becomes more productive and everybody benefits.
Right. So
in the short run, very few people benefit. But in the long run, more people benefit. And that is why such projects should not be tied to politics. They should be tied to economic reality. So, for example, the road from Rironi to Mau Summit, we know definitely many people will benefit.
Yeah.
People from Narok, people from Western Kenya, people from Sudan, people from Uganda, people from Iraki, people benefit. So it's a viable project. But the question is, as it is being constructed, are the people along that road thinking of what they will transport? Because a road can be there, but if you have nothing to transport or
you're not going to use it.
It doesn't benefit you.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that as we have these projects, the government is also looking at the multiplier effect. That this road is built, what are you going to do as a farmer? What are you going to do as a constructor? What are you going to do as an importer? So that at the end of the day, we all benefit from that.
Right.
The question is convincing politicians and convincing people like you and me that we shall benefit in the long run when the economy say we shall all be dead.